Welcome to the Spendwise Moms channel, your homemaking resource hub. This week, I spent an even $50. When I was checking out, I told the grocery clerk that I didn't want to go over $50. She was really helpful and went slowly, checking along the way. The actual receipt was $50.03, but the grocery clerk offered to put in 3 cents from a cup with extra pennies, so I didn't need to put any groceries back to meet my goal. Since our garden has started producing food that we can eat, I decided to stock up on chicken this week. It happened to be on sale. I got it for a third of the price I had expected to pay. Because of this, I was able to get 2 extra packages. Our garden is producing honeyberries, spinach, lettuce, and rhubarb. I found some lasagna in the freezer that looks like it needed to be used. I bought cream cheese to make cinnamon rolls for our neighbor who watched our garden when we were out of town. We will use the rest of the cream cheese with some bagels in the freezer. You can see I put the chicken I bought into the chest freezer that I cleared out recently. I'm also filling the chest freezer with garden produce from this year as well. I put all the older food that was in the chest freezer in the other freezer, and it is stuffed full of food. We will eat primarily from that freezer for the rest of the summer and supplement a little bit here and there with a few things each week. The rest of the money will be used to stock up on pantry items as well as meat and butter. This video is a continuation of the bare bones grocery budget. I mentioned in earlier videos that summertime is the time that I stock up on food. Between the food from our garden that it produces and the food that I've stored in the freezer, it gives me flexibility in my budget to stock up on pantry and freezer items for the future. Whether you're forced into doing a bare bones budget or you're doing it by choice, remember it is temporary and will not last forever. I really enjoy the challenge of a bare bones budget week. It forces you to tap into your creativity and venture into trying things that you probably wouldn't do regularly. Who knows, you might even create an amazing recipe. I tried 3 different recipes this week with the stuff that I had in my cupboards. One of them was a cream tuna that I put some cheese, some dill, some black pepper, and some onions in, and it was amazing. I also tried some poppy seed muffins with almond extract and some dried cherries. They turned out pretty well. I also made some oatmeal muffins that had some coconut and cashews and butterscotch chips, and they didn't turn out so well. Let's go through the basic steps again on what to do when you're doing a bare bones budget for the week. First, look at what food you have. Look in your fridge, your freezer, and your cupboards. Write down what you have on a scratch piece of paper. Your goal is to make the best and healthiest meals that you can while spending as little as possible. You may surprise yourself and realize that you don't have to buy anything at all to make it through the week. Next, make a meal plan. Start by using the list of foods you've written down. For example, if you have an opened box of cereal in the cupboard, figure out how many meals it will last for. If you happen to have milk to go with it, carefully portion it out for the things you need. If the milk has gone sour, use it to make pancakes or waffles. If you have produce in the fridge, consider how you can use it to your advantage. Reduce portion sizes to stretch the variety of food you eat throughout the week. For example, if you have 4 apples, consider eating a half an apple a day to make the apples last throughout the whole week. With the last half of the apple, think of making a small apple crisp to enjoy and to keep your spirits high and motivation high. Whatever you eat, remember that food's just food. It's meant to keep you alive. You can make it through anything for a week. You don't have to have steak to be happy. Instead, you could cook dry pinto beans, add some spices, and make some great tasting burritos, or tacos with beans as your protein, or make bean and rice enchiladas with a homemade enchilada sauce that costs pennies to make. Save yourself 70% off the cost of store-bought tortillas by making them yourself. Maybe you will find that you prefer the homemade tortillas. You may not have the ingredients like cheese, tomato, lettuce, avocado, or meat on your Mexican food this week, but a homemade Mexican rice and refried beans are just fine. There is an easy Mexican rice recipe that I love and will leave a link in the description box. For breakfast, try to eat homemade oatmeal, or if you hate the texture of oatmeal, try making baked oatmeal. Have toast made from homemade bread. You could use the half apple each day in your oatmeal, or use up any peanut butter and jelly you have in the cupboard on toast for breakfast, or for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at lunchtime. If you have canned soup in your cupboard, look at the portion sizes and stick to them. If you have a few staples in your cupboard, consider making half or a fourth of a muffin or cookie recipe if you need something sweet. You don't need to have chocolate chips or blueberries in your muffins. A simple plain muffin with a streusel top or a few banana muffins made with an overripe banana will work just fine. A good attitude can go a long way. You don't need to focus on being discouraged. This is an adventure. If you have a family, include them in the process. People tend to be happier and more cooperative when they are part of the decision making. Make your bare bones budget fun and enjoy the chance to create and develop new skills. There is no right or wrong way to do this. We all have different preferences when it comes to food, and we all have different kinds of food found in our freezer, fridge, and cupboards. Living on a bare bones budget is very doable for a week. It is only 7 days, and it will be over before you know it. If you are in the situation where you need to use a bare bones grocery budget all the time, please leave a comment below if you're interested in a video that goes into greater detail. If there are things that you have done when you've had to live on a bare bones grocery budget, please share them in the comments below so everyone can benefit from your experience. Thanks for watching the Spend Wise Moms channel. Please subscribe for more videos like this.